Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Powerful Man Show. I am your host, Doug Holt, with my co-host and back in the saddle, Tim, the Powerful Man Matthews. What's going on, brother?
Back in the saddle. Yeah, I'm well. Um, I'm well. I've been taking a bit of a chilled day. Well, I say chilled. It's still been super productive, but just compared to the pace of things lately, it's felt more chilled. So, but yeah, it's nice to be here. It's Friday as well, after all, and some long days this week, but busy days and productive days, and it's been good.
Good. Well, let's talk about that a little bit today, Tim, because it's a conversation that comes up a lot with the guys that come through the activation method and guys and men in general. It's the idea of not taking care of themselves and not serving themselves, right? So a lot of times what happens for us guys is we get our identity from what we're able to provide and produce. And we see this coming through with a lot of guys coming through the pipeline or men we talk to, and they're working their tail off and they're working so hard, providing for their family. They're sold the dream, right? You go to work, you bust your butt, you build an empire, and then everything's going to be okay. Then you get to sit back in your 60s or 70s or for some 50s and reap the rewards with your family on a nice yacht or a lake or what have you. But that time doesn't come. And during that journey, right, they've been busting their butt, working so hard, they have lost people in the wake. So how do you balance all of that?
Well, obviously, I just use our philosophies, right? I live by them. So the whole idea of inside out living and, the order of the territories, because I know that when I don't live that way, and so, for example, last night, the past few nights, I've not done my alpha decompression routine because I have been on meetings until quite late, until about 8 p.m. UK time. And then obviously I work from home. So by that time I'm hungry. So I go downstairs and I cook dinner. And, when I'm downstairs around that time or earlier, Amelia kind of knows that my working day is over. And so she then comes in and we start chatting while I'm cooking, and we sit and we chat while I'm eating and all that kind of stuff, which is great. I love it. And I understand that, all the hidden motives technique and things like that. A big way for her to connect is to chat. So, I do it. Even though, I feel like at times my head's going to explode because of all the fast moving pace of the day leading up to that. So point being, past few days, the reason why I'm feeling more tired today is because by me not doing my alpha decompression and then going downstairs and chatting and eating and then sitting with her while we watch Westworld or whatever it is she wants to watch, then go to bed at like 11, my mind's I'm still buzzed, right? I've stopped having caffeine by about 2 p.m. So it's not caffeine. I'm just buzzed. At which point I don't sleep as well. And then I wake up and then I'm more tired. But today, instead of working out, I had a workout scheduled. I was like, no, I'm still going to go for my morning walk and do my journaling and things. And also woke up to some great wins from the team. So I just basked in those for a little while. And then Amelia came into the office where I do my stuff, and she just started to lay with me, and the dogs came in and they laid. So I just, instead of working out, just napped with those guys, which was great. I loved it. So point being here is, yes, I live the philosophies that we teach. I didn't do the alpha decompression. That was, in my opinion, the reason why I didn't sleep as well. And a big part of what we do is all about managing energy over time, right? So I could have woken up and chosen and, pushed myself to work out, and I could have done it, and I've done that in the past, but it doesn't work for me in that space. I know the difference between excuses and actual tiredness. So instead, I'm just going to work out tomorrow morning because I can, right? Because you can just be flexible like that. So, but yeah, it's super important to be able to live from the inside out, right? Because, doing my workouts in the morning, although I didn't do it today, all week I have been, waking up, my alpha rise and shine, my working out, breaking my fast, and then I'll usually start my working day by about midday, midday, 1 p.m. And it's a whirlwind at that point. So, yeah, it's massively important.
Yeah, well, I agree. Well, for most of the guys, they're going to hear about you starting your day a little later. For me, my day starts pretty early because of the kids. You come in there with the family and the work day. And to add on to that, something, guys, that I think you can do is really look at when you're doing your alpha rise and shine or your alpha decompression, and even in the middle of the day, potentially, is find a way to recall your why. Why are you doing this? Why are you in this building phase of your journey? And when you figure out why you're in the building phase of the journey, when you're figuring out why it is you're doing what you're doing, it allows you the time to reflect and plan and enjoy the journey a little bit more. Because, a lot of guys, Tim, as you know, they get up, slam down a bunch of coffee, say hi to the kids, and they're off to the office. Now, nowadays, COVID, maybe the office is downstairs, maybe the office is in a room in their house, whatever it is. But then they're working most of the day. And at the end of the day, they're just so doggone tired. There's nothing for them to do, right? They just can't give enough to their family or to themselves. And so what I found what could be really helpful is actually remembering why it is you're doing what you're doing, right? Why are you building the empire? Why are you building all of the things in your business and your personal life? And by doing that, a lot of times, guys, you can then step aside and be in the journey. So you're not the guy that's sitting on the rocking chair in his 80s with a ton of regrets, wondering why their kids won't return your calls, or the kids just maybe send you a card, and why the first, second, or third marriage didn't work out. The key is making sure you do these. And like Tim was saying, you have the alpha rise and shine, right? That's the start. You got to kick it off in the right way, right? You can't kick it off in a hectic manner because that sets the tone for the rest of the day. Yeah, maybe once or a while you can pull it off and pull the plane back into the right altitude, but you want to start off right away with the right, mental space to do so. And Tim, to your point, right? You're just saying, the idea here is, you skipped your workout. You read your body. You knew how you felt. You skipped your workout today, and you have the ability to do it tomorrow, right? And you're not beating yourself up about it. So I think that's also another critical component.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's the power of being in the conversation, right? Every day we're speaking with, coaching or enrolling, talking with men who have ignored this, right? And there isn't anything against them. That they come into us with the pain of the disconnect that they're living with, be it the disconnect from themselves, their wife, even the business. They've got $30 million in the bank, or 8 million, or whatever it is, right? Whatever number, it doesn't really matter. They all have the same feeling. There's that disconnect. So to hear those stories day in, day out, we talk about one destination, two paths. It's the clearest reminder for me ever of which path do I want to choose. Because I think it's super important to remember your why, and it's also important to remember that the journey is the destination, right? Because if I or we were to fall into the trap of thinking that, okay, well, once this building phase is over and we've got a particular infrastructure in place, then things will become easier. Then I'll work less. Then I know that's not true, because although there is some truth to the structure that gets to be in place to give space and freedom in a business, there's also a mindset that underpins it, right? And unless the mindset is one of inside out living and the path of power versus force and the journey being the destination, if it isn't that, then you're going to be stuck in this cycle of just next. And that is a pathway to being on the rocking chair with regrets. And a few weeks ago, I think it was when I messaged you and Arthur through Voxer, and I can't remember what I said, but anyway, my fitness plan wasn't working for me, and it included getting up on a morning, weighing myself every day, tracking my food every day, doing particular workouts that I wasn't particularly enjoying. And it just became another thing to do, another thing to achieve in my day. As soon as I got up, I was weighing myself to look at the scales as soon as I got up. And he just set me into this mindset. The first few hours of the day, I like to be. I like to come around slowly. I like to walk and meditate and journal and do all those great things that just set me up for the day. And weighing myself was straight away put me in this mindset. Okay, well, what did I weigh yesterday? Okay, how's it tracking? Is it coming down? Is it, what's it like, right? Because I want to achieve something there. And it just wasn't working for me. And I said that to him. I said, look, I don't want to do this plan. Like, I want to work with you, and I'm not going to weigh myself every day. I'm happy to send you progress shots. I'm not going to do the workouts that you've given me. I'll do some of them. I'm going to switch out some exercises from the ones that I don't enjoy to the ones I do enjoy. I'm going to track my food because I like that. Because when I don't track, I either overeat or undereat. So I like tracking my food. And I just really made it fit my flow to things. I think it's super important to be able to, while you're on this path and you're living from the inside out and taking care of your health and being flexible with yourself. I think it's really important to be just that, flexible, right? Because for me at least, if I get too rigid with every area and become super disciplined in every single area, it just becomes too extreme for me. And all the joy goes out of it and it becomes hollow. It becomes empty. Even when I'm achieving things, let's say the scales are going down or the bank account's growing or I'm having more sex or whatever, everything is something to do. Everything's a checkbox. And that's the place where the men often are when they come to us, and I'm just not willing to be there. So I'm still disciplined, and I like to have more flexibility within that to really follow my joy and my inspiration with it, because that feeds directly into your why. It feeds directly into reality creation, right? And creating the life that you see for yourself and creating it quickly. We're about to 3x the company again. We 3x'd it last year, we 3x'd it the year before. It's like 10x over the space of 3 years, thereabouts, which is huge. At least I think it's good. Other people might have done it in less time, but cool, whatever. I'm happy with that, and I know you are too. So, point being is, with all that comes, as you guys know, a host of things that go with it, from processes to people to so on and so forth. So, a key to being able to do that and do it in a joyful way without sacrificing. We've been able to do that whilst still developing and progressing health and relationships and traveling and doing all those great things, right? Not saying, okay, no, tell you what, we'll wait until 3 years when it's 10x to then do those things, because we know it doesn't work that way. So, it's key to have those routines and those stop gaps, I think, to just be able to manage your energy over your time and remember the journey is the destination and all the great things that go with it.
So, Tim, I can imagine somebody listening to this, and it's a rhetorical question, of course, listening to this and going, okay, great, but I can't do that. I can't start my work day as late as you do, right? I have, quote unquote, a real job. Or, I can't just skip a workout just because I'm going to do it tomorrow because I've got kids at home, I got the wife, I got other responsibilities. What would you say to that?
There might be some truth, and that's cool. And you don't have to, it's not about, doing it tomorrow per se or starting at a certain time. It's all about self-worth, right? It's all about taking a stand for yourself, right? Which is the foundation of all this. We talk about live as a king system and boundaries and so forth. We've spoken about, working out and explaining how to do that, or the importance of that to your wife, to your kids, and why that means something to you. And so it's regardless of when you do it, in my opinion, if you choose to be flexible with yourself because you're managing your energy over your time and you're still staying committed to what is true for you, then there's no other way, right? Because you putting your needs last, whether it's working out or whatever, we all know that the people around you, the people you love, are not going to get the best of you. if you're not getting the best of you. That's just the reality. However that works for you, that's up to you to figure out, right? Part of the reason why I can start my workday at 12 is because most of the team are on the East Coast or West Coast. So, it's great. They don't come online until like midday, 1 o'clock. So it's awesome. I love it. I don't get bothered by anyone. But then I work until 6, 7. Last night, 8:30, So I finish later, but it's irrelevant. It's really irrelevant. You just get to, regardless of the details, you just get to be committed to what you see, the vision that you have. Otherwise, you're selling yourself short, resentment builds, you walk in through the door, you're annoyed, you're frustrated, you're letting yourself down, you beat yourself up, you reach for a beer. You all know the vicious cycle, right? It can either work for you or against you. So, yeah, I'd invite you to really question that.
Key is when you're looking at the questioning and trying to figure out where you're getting the analytics and how you're doing it. And so I think a lot of men are used to hearing the morning routine or the Alpha Rise and Shine routine. And guys, if you're interested in the Alpha Rise and Shine, just head over to the Facebook group, The Powerful Man Facebook group. Get in there and just raise your hand, post, I want the Alpha Rise and Shine cheat, and we'll go ahead and get that for you. Somebody on the team will get it for you. No strings attached, guys. It's an amazing routine. But we're also talking about here, Tim, right, is making sure you have the closing out routine, which I think most people miss. The decompression cheat sheet, the way that you actually decompress from the day and close out. The story that I like telling and I've heard was, if you think martial arts, right? I've taken martial arts for many years in the past, is when you walk into the dojo, you bow, right? And you go in. And when you leave after you're fighting and you're training to fight, you bow. And part of the significance, one is respect, of course, but part of the significance is subconsciously telling your body, I am done with the fighting arts. I'm going back into the rest of the world. And when you look at that and you think about that, how does that apply to business, right? We talk about business, I'm going to war. There's all these analogies for business, right, that we use. But how often are we bowing at our business dojo, so to speak, and closing out the day? Turning off your cell phone, closing out the day, and then bowing in your home as you come in to say, I am here to be a husband. I am here to be a father. I'm here to be a leader in my home, and leaving business out the door. And guys, there's a lot of ways to do that, but it all, rituals and things, Tim and I can share those with you, but it starts with that decompression. Decompression doesn't happen at 10 p.m. when you're going to bed necessarily.
Yeah.
That decompression can start as soon as you leave the workplace.
Yeah, if you leave it until, I used to do it when I went to bed, I used to journal and have time when I went to bed. Sorry, I'm just eating a raspberry.
I'm watching
you. Frozen, tell you what, frozen raspberries, an awesome snack. Like during the day, mid-afternoon, for me, they've helped keep my energy quite high. Frozen blueberries, it's been awesome. Yeah, I used to leave it until like 10 p.m. But and then I'd journal, then I'd do some like breath work. But what I found is it actually energized me, because part of your decompression routine is that it will energize you, and that's the point. Is for you to draw a line at the end of your workday and energize you and refocus you as you actually then go into your evening, right, with the people you love. So I wouldn't recommend doing it at 10 p.m. And you're completely right. You leave it on the battlefield of business, don't you? Or on, you want to leave work at work. And I think it's really important as well to be able to count your wins in the day and also count your lessons. For me, doing that decompression, it's huge. It's such a brain dump, just getting all those ideas out, getting all the emotions out, getting all the wins down. It really helps to refill me and refocus me as then go into my evening. It's a game changer. I find it hard, like past few nights without it. I've been connecting with Amelia while she's been talking, but I've not really been connecting, and she'll be able to feel that. In fact, she came in this morning when she laid with me and she said, "Oh, you've not spent much time with us the past couple of days. Why don't you just lay with us?" And, it's been no different to earlier in the week. It's just earlier in the week, I did my evening routine and I was there and she could feel it. Whereas the past 2 nights, I haven't. So obviously, I haven't been there as well.
But Tim, let's leave the guys with a couple things of takeaways here, right? They recognize themselves in this situation, as most men do. Let's go. Let's give them 2 to 3 things they can do right now in the moment of insight.
Number one, challenge your excuses. Whatever excuse you've got, challenge it. I'm not saying your excuse is right or wrong or valid or not. Challenge it. Because I'm sure there's somebody that's been in a worse situation than you that's made it work, and someone in a better one that has. So first of all, challenge your excuses. Second one, I'd get over to that Facebook group and get the Alpha Decompression
100%.
and start using it. As a free cheat sheet in there, just start using it. Just commit to it for 21 days. Just commit to it. It can be as short or as long as you want. It's just a particular methodology that you flow through. And then the third one, I would say, is introduce some flexibility over the next week. And what I mean by that is, really start to lean in. If you're challenging your excuses and you're using the decompression, what if you just started to add in as well a little bit of flexibility with yourself? For example, when I felt tired this morning, instead of working out, no, I'm not going to do it right now. I'm going to do it another time. You'll know when you're being lazy versus being true to yourself. So just what might happen for you if you just start to exercise a little bit of flexibility? How might that change the flow of your day and how much energy then have to connect with the people you love and even for yourself, and how much more enjoyable as well your days might become. So, just start to tune in to what really is going to bring you joy and start to follow it and be flexible with yourself.
I love it. I love it. And guys, I'll add something that made it as a game changer for me was closing out my workday with a routine, whatever that routine may be. Now, for a lot of you guys, the Alpha Decompression cheat sheet is going to be a great way of doing it. But on top of that, some kind of symbolism that says I'm closing out my workday, right? Whatever it may be to you. We have a guy that's in the Brotherhood right now. I was talking to him, and what we developed for him is said, hey, look, he's in the construction industry. It's like, hey, look, something you can do is you put away your tools when you're done building something. Put away your tools at your office. Put away those. Make that your routine. For me, I simply walk out the door of my office and I hit the door. I tap it when I go in and I tap it when I go out. And that just signifies a trigger. It's an anchor that allows you to know, because I work from home, it allows me to know when I go upstairs, I got kids that are going to want to see me. They don't realize they're young. They don't realize that daddy is at work. And when daddy's upstairs, he's just getting some food or a snack or some water or wasting time or whatever it may be. And a lot of times I'll go up there to build trains and play during the day. So having something that shuts that off, shuts that time off, changes the energy is critical. And it takes time to build, guys. You want to determine the anchor that works really well for you, whatever that may be, and utilize it on a regular basis.
That's a good one.
Excellent, guys. So you got a couple things to do. Get over to that Facebook group. And as always, go over to thepowerfulman.com/bonus. Pick up a free training right there. We have a new training there by Tim, the Powerful Man Matthews, that you can get and help you actually reignite in your relationship. Gentlemen, that's all for us in this episode of The Powerful Man Show. We'll see you next time.